Hi, I'm Kelly Tran. I just finished a chemistry read for Star Wars.
I really like Kelly.
While it may have been a bit of a slow news week or day because yesterday was Christmas, there was no shortage of Star Wars drama going on Twitter today. And I didn't really want to do 3 Star Wars videos, and I'm hoping new things break. That's why I have my Midwestly channel, by the way. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment below. I cover more like world news and not pop culture stuff there. I mean, today I covered Canadian news, Canadian television network cutting Trump out of a tiny section of Home Alone 2 while it aired on Christmas. More topics like that. Today, really bummed that I have so much Star Wars news, but I've got a job to do, and you guys are all important to me, and entertaining you is important to me. So hopefully you'll still leave a like and a comment on the video, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have a bigger variety of news. Now, Rose Tico has always served as a martyr, as a symbolic new fandom creature, new fan and you fan for Star Wars. Rose Tico's character was mediocre, was generally disliked, but Kelly Marie Tran, being a POC, has really served as the far left's flashpoint for the culture battle, the battle for Star Wars, the battle for culture. Her character is completely irrelevant, but that didn't stop the media from spinning up narratives of her enduring unending abuse online, which never was proven, just never happened. Were there a few jerks that probably said some mean things to her? I guess. I mean, I haven't seen any evidence of that, but of course I'm willing to accept that. Hold your breath.
What are you, an imbecile?
People say mean things online. Now, of course, remember to exhale and continue breathing, but...
Okay.
If people said mean things to her, obviously I disavow. I have not seen anybody in the fandom menace, promoting this type of behavior. I have always been loudly outspoken that, look, if you don't like a character in a movie, don't go after the actor or actress over that. If they, like in Brie Larson's case, says something you don't agree with and you want to provide criticism to Brie Larson over things that Brie Larson has said, that's okay. If you want to say mean things to Kelly Marie Tran because Rose Tico looked like a character who had a full diaper in the entire movie, that's not her fault. And the same way that all of these people now today trending on Twitter, hashtag Rose Tico deserved better. Where did this come from? Well, Slate put out a tweet saying, just how badly did J.J. Abrams sideline Kelly Marie Tran? Even more than we initially thought. Now, this is an article from fake news outlet Slate, of course, but nonetheless, this is really what sparked it all. Of many of the complaints lodged against The Rise of Skywalker, one of the most persistent has been the sidelining of Kelly Marie Tran's Rose Tico. She was introduced in The Last Jedi, and Rose became the first woman of color to play a significant role in the Star Wars universe. Now, of course, that is what this is all about. Make no mistake about it. It isn't whether or not Rose Tico was a relevant character. It isn't whether or not there are piles and piles and piles and piles and piles of Rose Tico action figures on triple clearance at Walmart and Walgreens where you can pay pennies on the dollar for them. It isn't about that. It is exclusively about Kelly Marie Tran's skin color and the culture battle. And Tran became the first Asian American actress to star in the franchise earlier this year. Nobody cares. The Rise of Skywalker director and co-writer J.J. Abrams said that casting Tran was, quote, the greatest thing The Last Jedi's Rian Johnson ever did. Well, that seems unlikely, but if you notice, as I've been examining these critic reviews more and more, as it continues to sink, I think I saw it as low as 57%. I'm actually thinking a lot of it is that J.J. Abrams isn't woke like Ryan Circlehead Johnson is. And that's why a lot of the critics didn't like it. It seems like the critics have turned on J.J. Abrams for, I I don't know, not putting a character that nobody liked, that toy sales indicated nobody liked, on the screen more. But however grateful Abrams may have been, the gratitude did not translate to on-screen time. Effectively, a co-lead in The Last Jedi is reduced to a bit part in Rise of the Skywalker. Her absence from the plot, flimsily explained by her need to stay at the Rebel base and pore over specs of the Imperial Star Destroyers. Fans of Rose Tico were quick to lodge complaints on Twitter, and the Nerdist argued that Abrams had, quote, treated her with less respect than Jar Jar Binks in Attack of the Clones. Just how bad was it? I conducted an investigation watching both The Last Jedi and Rise of the Skywalker with my finger poised over a stopwatch app. When I noticed Rose Tico's glaring lack of presence, that results even surprised me. In The Rise of Skywalker, 2 hours and 22 minutes, she appeared for just 1 minute and 16 seconds, give or take a few seconds. Even 1 to 1/16th is fairly liberal appraisal. When I tried to be strict about only letting the timer run when Rose was actually on screen, my definition of on screen was generous. For example, I included a scene at the end where she hugs Chewbacca at the Rebel base, although it's possible to argue that she wasn't quite in the forefront of the action. So I was alert for any sign that I even included the part where she was only partially in scene. The impact of Tran's part in The Last Jedi can't be measured in time alone. Oh, so it's not as important. The argument here is the exact raw minutes and seconds she's on screen is important in The Rise of Skywalker, but it's not important in The Last Jedi. Why? Well, I don't know. Reasons? Even so, the difference is stark. Rose appeared on screen for 10 minutes and 53 seconds in The Last Jedi's 2 hours and 32 minutes. So in what, 152 minutes, in 152 minutes, she appeared for just 10 of them. You're acting like she was a major star. She's barely on screen in that film. Johnson hasn't publicly commented on The Rise of Skywalker, but he did post a picture of Tran resplendent in a red gown at the movie's premiere, accompanied by an emoji of the Queen's crown. Tran's absence in The Rise of Skywalker is especially troubling because she became the target of, here we go, widespread mean words online after The Last Jedi was released, to the extent that she had to delete her Instagram account. She herself has never really said this. She herself has provided zero evidence of this. She herself, or the legions of articles written, and make no mistake about it, these accounts are written as a way to dump on Star Wars fans. They're always written in this way that, like, oh, Star Wars fans didn't like Kelly Marie Tran. I'm sorry. Star Wars fans didn't like Rose Tico's character because they're racist. There's no evidence of that. Do people have poor beliefs? Sure. But we're talking about a micro percentage. That new movies not only shunts her aside, but does so without bringing any closure to her character, makes it seem as if Abrams caved into what some of Star Wars' worst fans, or at least that there was no involved who understood how deeply Rose's casual exclusion would hit those whom she meant so much to. Who did she mean that much to? She was in 10 minutes of a 2.5-hour film. She was statistically irrelevant. Her character served as a flashpoint for culture warriors online, and that's it. That's the only reason they cared. They don't care about whether or not her character fit. They don't care whether or not her character's merch sold. They don't care whether or not her toys sold. They don't care if people that actually saw the movie liked her character. It's all about racism. And you can see, here's another, it's trending on Twitter. Top tweet, a nerdy POC says, Rose Tico, played by the iconic Kelly Marie Tran, she's not iconic, only has 1 minute, 16 seconds of screen time out of 2 hours and 22 minutes. I guess, given the audience's, quote, groundbreaking girl-on-girl representation in the brief kissing scene was supposed to make up for kowtowing to racists and misogynists online. What? What? Nobody, oh my God. This is so 2019. Where were all the people buying Rose Tico dolls? Where were all the people buying Rose Tico merch, Rose Tico lunchboxes? Oh, wait, all that stuff is on clearance. Nobody cared about the character because she wasn't relevant. It has absolutely nothing to do with Kelly Marie Tran or her skin color. Nothing. No matter how many articles get written, it doesn't matter. If you look at some of these top tweets, though, they're saying, hashtag Rose Tico deserves better is the Rise of the Skywalker take I cannot stand. KMT didn't deserve harassment, but that's not justification to give her more screen time to the character that failed to land with the majority. Simply put, JJ didn't find value in her character. Stop making it more than that. And you can see more stuff. Rose Tico got 1 minute and 16 seconds of screen time in Tross after punching her fists through Canto Bight, saving what she loves, and being a spark of hope. She got 1 minute and 16 seconds. So, nobody liked her character. This is all about the culture battle. You can see Newsweek. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker fans feels Rose Tico deserved better as the hashtag trends. Star Wars Episode 9 is officially out and has torn the fan base asunder. Half the Jedi fanatics who left the theater felt it was fitting ending to the latest trilogy, while others decided the film was a convoluted mess with a plot harder to follow than a droid in the desert. The movie tried to include as many aspects of Star Wars franchise as possible, from showing off massive space fleets to bringing back characters thought long destroyed, but one character that many went to the theater hoping to see barely made an appearance. Who did that? Who bought tickets to see Rose Tico? Except she wasn't in it. That isn't what happened with The Rise of the Skywalker. According to Slate, actor Kelly Marie Tran portrays Rose for just 1 minute 16 seconds of the 2 hours and 22 minutes. She's on the Rebel base visually worried, but never makes it off the planet. The lack of inclusion has bothered some fans, who have started the Rose Tico deserve better hashtag on Twitter. Supporters believe Tran's portrayal of Rose barely got enough screen time, which is a disappointment. Now, I understand liking a character, but you can see here, as we see Eric, hot take, Rose Tico deserved better is false. She was clearly a shoehorn diversity pick with no reason to actually be there other than to be on the screen. No matter how much y'all fight, she wasn't a character that the large majority cared about. Now go do something else, which included a picture of Rose Tico dolls on clearance for $2. Rose Tico deserved better. Yeah, Finn deserved better. Luke deserved better. Kylo Ren and every Rey deserved, even Rey deserved better. I mean, they all deserve better, but the idea that people don't like Kelly Marie Tran is just propaganda. People don't like Rose Tico, all right? I don't know much about John Boyega, but that doesn't color how I feel about his character on screen. This is just a sick attempt to paint the Star Wars fandom as terrible people, because that's what the media does. They write these stink pieces about the fandoms because they know it gets clicks and they know it gets us talking, which is why I will make this video and hope to counter that, and hope that you leave a like and that you leave a comment and that you share this video. Because again, I ask for evidence that people have any personal problems with Kelly Marie Tran. I ask for evidence that just because the color of her skin isn't white, that she deserves more screen time. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.